Okay, hello everybody. We are starting a new series here at John Consulting, the nonprofit Ed Voices of Impact. We know a lot of you guys really enjoyed our live stream series, so we wanted to carry that over and just highlight the voices of the nonprofit space. So today we have a really special guest for our inaugural episode, and I will let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Ann Watkins, and I am Vice President of Technology and Membership at the National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys. We're a membership association located in Vienna, Virginia. We have about 4,000 members. Our members are mostly private attorneys. We have a few public attorneys and law professors and students, but mostly private attorneys who practice in the space of elder law, which includes a lot of wills and trusts and tax law and things like that. So what we focus on mainly is educating our members, and we also work on public policy issues that are of interest to our members, and that's basically what we do here.
Great. I think it's a wonderful organization that people should really know about. And I kind of wanted to get your take of how you became of your position at NAELA and just a career in the nonprofit sector in general.
Sure. So I actually started out many years ago in a trade association in Washington, D.C. So I worked there for a number of years. And in 2008, NAELA moved actually from Arizona. At the time, they were located in Arizona, and they were being managed by an outside management company. And the leadership of NAELA decided that they wanted to have a presence in Washington, D.C. So they decided to move to D.C. and hire their own executive director. And so the original executive director hired me to come on, and I've been here ever since. So
That's awesome. And I know we've had a long-standing relationship. You've known our CEO, Joe, for a very long time, and you were
yes,
actually our first client of John
yes.
Consulting. So that's very exciting.
Mhm.
And if you just wanted to share what your experience has been like, and also just, I'm really curious to know how you've seen the nonprofit space change over even this past decade and how it's evolved from our partnership.
Sure. So shortly after I came to NAELA, and we took over from the management company, we had a very old AMS that we were looking to change because it was we were very dependent on outside consultants to do anything for us. We couldn't make any changes to the website. We really couldn't run reports or anything without asking our consultant to do it for us. Now, this is a number of years ago, so that wasn't, completely unheard of like it is now. So we started the journey of looking for a new AMS, a new CMS, and we landed on IMIS. Mostly at the time because, again, we felt like it was a system that was very flexible, a system that we could possibly, at least work on the content management side pretty easily. So we ended up choosing that. Originally, we had a consulting company that helped us transition everything over to IMIS. We had a number of issues that, gosh, moving from one system to another, especially at that time, everyone knows how that is. So, long story short, I was kind of on a journey to find a partner that I could work with. We had a number of problems with the partners that we had been with, our IMIS partners. And Joe was posting a lot on the users group, and he really impressed me with his knowledge. And so I contacted him, and we started to talk, and we ended up, I ended up giving him a shot because, I mean, at that point I was pretty fed up with some of these other consultants that I'd had issues with. And so, I kind of gave him a little bit of a trial with me.
Mhm.
And we've been together ever since. We've had a great partnership. So, that's, and we have a very close and trusting professional relationship as my IMIS consultant. So,
Yeah, that's amazing because I think a partnership is what it's all about and that you can trust each other and you both speak very highly of each other and in the professional space and you've been working together for a very long time. So I really appreciate that. And just you've seen everything change with IMIS and just the nonprofit space and membership and getting people to join and volunteer. It's a lot. And
yes,
just I wanted to get your take more of like how the whole landscape has changed
right.
and where you see the nonprofit space really going. Do you have
Okay.
any predictions?
Well, I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but I do have a long history, with our membership association and just being involved in the IMIS community. I see the changes that are happening. I think one of the biggest changes when I first came onto the membership association world, people were just kind of getting over that whole embracing of technology. That kind of when I entered the business world back in the mid 80s, people didn't have computers at their desks yet. People were still kind of trying to wean themselves off word processors and get into computers. We didn't have email communication the way we do now. Um,
Mhm.
so, one of the biggest changes I've seen um, since I've come in is the way people communicate professionally,
Mhm.
with the email. Our listserv is incredibly valuable to our members because literally you have answers at your fingertips. You know,
Mhm.
if you have a particular problem, you just put it out to the group, to this trusted group of professionals that is going to come back to you with an accurate answer. So nowadays, I think younger people, I don't know for sure, but this is my
Mhm.
impression. Younger people, I think, trust technology maybe more than the older generations did, whereby they will ask technology for an answer. And I
Mhm.
don't think they've really learned yet. And I think they will learn that, yes, you can ask technology for an answer, but can you trust the answer that you're getting back? So you need to
Mhm.
know who your source of truth is. And I do think that membership associations can still be your source of truth, and I think people professionally, um, and I've seen this with our members and me personally, like being a part of the IMIS users group, um, that's your tribe. That's the world you live in every day. That's what you do. And so you want that group who understands you, who gets you, who knows what you go through every day to be there for you, and to be a trusted source for information. So I do think there's kind of that evolution now where we're going to, AI is our source of truth, but what is it really, and where is AI getting the information from? So I think for us, embracing AI, which is our next revolution, is yes, we're using AI, but we're using AI who's getting the information from a group that we can trust, which is us internally.
No, I
So
definitely agree. The human interaction is like non-comparable to AI. You need that authenticity. Even what I see in my field of marketing, people want to feel like they're valued and they have that authentic connection with anybody. So I definitely agree with that point. And I know AI can be very daunting, especially people now wanting to adopt it in their daily practices. So, do you have any advice for nonprofit leaders that may want to adapt to AI and evolving technology, but are a little bit scared to do so?
Um, yeah, I think, there's the famous saying by FDR, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And I do think that's always true, is that you can't let fear guide you and your decisions on anything. You have to do your research, be knowledgeable, have a plan. Um, I know as far as AI goes with our members, and because they're attorneys, and they're struggling, and I'm sure a lot of membership associations and across all professions, their members are struggling with AI within their profession. So it's kind of twofold. You have to help your members and guide your members through how they're going to embrace this in their profession, but also as an association, how are you going to embrace it? So it's really two prongs. I see our members being afraid of it very much. So we're kind of right now at our annual conference that we just had in May, we did a whole workshop on AI and how you can incorporate AI safely, ethically, knowledgeably within your practice. So there's that. We're trying to educate our members on AI. We're not experts on AI, but we're experts on what goes on in our practice, so we can take those two elements and put them together. And it's coming. We're not going to be able to, hold the gates. I mean, it's coming through. So I do think, like I said, you just need to be knowledgeable about it and have a plan and understand how it's going to impact what you do every day. So.
Yeah, that's great advice. And I know it's a huge talking point right now, and
Mhm.
especially in the nonprofit space. So I think, do you see AI as a challenge that a nonprofit leader is experiencing right now, or do you think there are other challenges that they're facing that are more of an issue?
Um, I, I mean, I do think that it is somewhat of a challenge in that it's kind of a wild, wild west where nobody, there's really no boundaries to it right now. So you're kind of struggling with what are the parameters you're going to put around it? How are you going to implement AI, because you have to. But I don't necessarily see that as the biggest issue that's facing membership associations right now. I mean, I think um, maybe AI is going to be able to do a lot of the things that the staff of a membership association was doing, and so that piece of it, I think membership staff in the past has been very task oriented, and I think AI is going to take over a lot of the tasks that maybe staff was doing. So perhaps that piece, as far as the leadership goes, is figuring out, okay, we've freed up all of these resources that AI can do for us now. So where can we take where can professional staff start focusing their energy and their time on? So that piece of it, I think, is also going to be a big change for all of us.
Right, right. And Um, is there any other challenges that you face day to day, like with people wanting to be members, membership retention, or um, just burnout of employees, or anything that your organization is facing right now?
Yeah, I think one troubling thing that we're facing now is, we're really, I think in the past 10 years, it's always been all about, well, we got to build up our membership, we got to get new members. Um, but, I know all membership associations across the board are struggling with membership right now. And I think it's attracting the younger people and, making membership associations relevant to the next generation. I really do think that that's a very um, big concern for all of us right now. So I think we do have to think more deeply about what it is that is going to help us bring those next generations not only into the profession, but also to want to be part of a membership.
Right, right. And I know even when I was in college, I was part of an organization, and it is hard to get members to join and become excited about what you offer, any organization. So it definitely is a big problem that nonprofits I see are facing.
Yeah.
So kind of going along with that, I just wanted to see over your years at NAELA and what technology investments have you made as an organization that has had the biggest impact? Do you think that it's IMIS, or is there any other innovations that you had?
Definitely, IMIS was probably the biggest investment that we made in terms of technology. And once we made the decision to go to IMIS, we have never looked back. It's always evolved with us, which was our hope in the very beginning. We also, when we converted our listserv and our all of our groups into the higher logic communities, that was a big deal. We integrated with higher logic. We did at one time have a learning management system, but we just decided that being a small staff, it just we couldn't afford, and we weren't getting the return on investment for a learning management system. For it doesn't really work for attorneys because they're members of bar associations and things. So we don't really focus our energies there. So IMIS has always worked for us. Like I said, we've evolved with it. It's evolved with us, and it just works for us. So, and I think going back to Joe, having a great IMIS partner has been a huge advantage and a real blessing for us to have him with us.
No,
So he's helped us
definitely.
along.
And it's been a great partnership, and it's something IMIS is a platform that people can trust, and it's very customizable, and
Yeah,
it's a great resource
it really
for
is.
anybody.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
they're constantly listening to their users and implementing changes that are being asked of them. And it's they're really responsive, which in my experience there's other companies that aren't. They're not going to listen to their users like ASI does.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's great. And I know looking ahead, and you may not know, like you said, with the crystal ball, but do you have any next steps, what NAILA is doing, or what are you excited about in the future at your organization?
um I mean, again, I think with AI and the way it's changing pretty much the way everyone lives every day, I'm really looking forward. Like I said, I think in the past, membership association staff has just spent a lot of time doing tedious grind work all the time, and I think AI is going to be able to do a lot of those things that maybe we're wasting our time somewhat. Kind of like how when computers were first implemented and we all ended up having a personal computer at our desk. Think about how many, no more typing up papers on typewriters and whiting out and things like that. So it's a similar, I think, evolution that's happening right now where we can't imagine it yet, how this is going to change, but I just feel like it is going to change how we do our day-to-day work. And I hope in a very positive way. That's my hope.
Yeah, I hope in a positive way too. Um, So I really have enjoyed this conversation, and can tell that you've had a lot of wisdom in just the business space in general. And I wanted to see if you had any advice or a lesson that you've learned along your career and which could help anybody in the nonprofit space.
Sure. And I think getting back to your comment about being afraid, I mean, I'm glad that I didn't let fear, take over or guide me. I'm glad that I've been willing to take risks, because you do have to take risks. You can't 100% know what the outcome of what you're doing is going to be. So I've never been afraid to embrace technology. I've never been afraid to take it to the next level. But again, you have to be knowledgeable, and you always have to have a plan. And again, that's what's been great about Joe, is that he's been so meticulous about laying out plans for us. We've had some scary upgrades, and we've had things go wrong along the way and things like that, but we've always had a backup plan. We've always had a plan B. So you can't be afraid to make that leap. You really can't. You have to do it. And I haven't, I can't think of one that I've really regretted, that I've done. So
That's really great advice. I think a lot of people, even with my generation, people are afraid to take leaps and risks. And so you just have to dive right in and not be afraid to make mistakes, because that's life. You're gonna make
oh,
mistakes.
exactly. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, I've had plenty of things go wrong along the way, but if you have a plan, if you have thought things through as much as you could, you're going to come out okay. So
And yeah, I think your motivation is inspiring, and I really appreciate that. You're a go-getter, and you're kind of a pioneer in this industry. So what really keeps you motivated, and do you have any last thoughts that you want to share with the audience?
um right now for me, obviously I've been in the working world for a long time. I'm at the end of my career. I'm just looking forward to passing the torch to the next generation, and looking to see what the next generation is going to do, where they're going to take it. So
Right. I really appreciate it. And
mhm.
I just want to let everybody know where they can find you if they wanted to reach
Oh,
out.
sure, sure.
Mhm.
So our website is www.naela, NAELA.org. So that's where we are. And I'm also on the IMIS users group. If anybody out there is on the users group, they'd be happy to, if you want to connect with me, or on LinkedIn or whatever. So
That's
yeah.
great. So I really, really appreciate you being on this first episode. It's been great, a great advice that you've given. And I want everybody to know they can tune in, watch this video on John Consulting's LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and stay tuned for our next episode. And we're going to be spotlighting all different nonprofit leaders. You'll get different advice each month. And we're excited to see where this series goes. So thank you again, Anne. I
Oh,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. I look forward to watching the coming videos.
Yes, thank you.
Uh-huh.